Please give it up for Alison Zeidman.
Wow. Oh, boy. All right, let's just get something out of the way, like right up top. I don't know if you guys can tell, like hopefully not, but I recently decided to start giving myself my own haircut. So, if you can't tell, thank you. If you can, shut up. Just like don't say anything. Be real mean. Keep it to yourself. I don't like getting my hair cut, so I just figured like I'll stop doing that. It's not that weird to me, but like sometimes you tell people and they look at you the way like some of you are looking at me, like I just told you I've been like pissing in jars and saving it around the house or something, which is like not what I'm doing, to be clear. That's like a totally different thing. Like I told a good friend of mine, I was just like explaining to her that I was gonna start doing that now, and she was like, whoa, like are you okay? You're cutting your own hair? Are you depressed? Like, is this a cry for help? I'm like, no, it's not a cry for help. Like, that's what all the crying was. This is fine. I don't know. I don't like, it's too expensive. I get my hopes up. It's like never what I want afterwards, And it's just like, it's like 100% my fault, why I'm like always disappointed by a haircut. Because like, I always think it's gonna like change my life somehow. Do you guys ever do this? Like you go into a salon like, oh, I'll get bangs, then I'll have a savings account. I'm just one deep conditioning treatment away from not being scared all the time. This is gonna fix everything. And then they turn the chair around and I'm still fucking me, It just like doesn't work. I'll just take you guys through it. I'll just like walk you right through the whole process, like what a haircut is for me. Okay, so like a haircut, right? A haircut is like when you need a haircut and you're not sure where to go. So you call your friend Shelly and you ask her to recommend a place. And Shelly gives you a place and you're like, well, I'll go to Shelly's place. Like I'm gonna trust Shelly, Like it's Shelly. She's never steered me wrong like flavored vodkas or romantic comedies. Like I can trust Shelly. I'll go to her place. So like you go and you sit down and they're doing the shampoo and like there's some small talk that you're not good at. And they just start cutting and they're cutting. And then they turn you around. You can't really see what's happening. They tell you you're finished. They turn you back. They ask you if you like it. And this is the part where you have to lie. You have to lie to them. You have to lie to yourself because you're facing a mirror and say that you like this haircut. Then they tell you how much it is and you realize, oh, that is all the money I have. But like you have to pay because they're still holding scissors, and like you get mad, but you pay that. Like you're like, this is, like I could have taken me and Shelly out for like a nice dinner at like a fast casual dining establishment, like a Chili's or like a California Pizza, like someplace nice that would have deepened your relationships. To give you a better recommendation for a haircut place. So like you're angry, but then quickly the anger, like it becomes just like shame and tears, and you just go home and you cry and like you lock yourself in your apartment. You don't leave the house. You just cry for days. You just keep crying. And then you start to feel stupid for crying over a haircut, and you cry over how fucking stupid you are. And that's just what a haircut is for me. That's just what it is. Okay, all right. You guys are like, yeah, you need this. We'll clap for you a little bit. I moved to New York a couple of years ago, and I don't know about anybody else, especially any of the women in the room. When I first moved here, everybody's just like, okay, as a woman in a big city, just be like ready for the catcalling. It's gonna suck. It's gonna happen all the time. Just steal your nerves. Be ready for it. And like, I just don't think it's like that big a problem, At least not for me. Never seems to be a problem for old Alison, Oh man, like it's not like I want to be catcalled, Like I like to think it's because like I look like some like tough person you don't want to mess with, But I also can't rule out the possibility that I'm just so like disgusting that I deserve dignity and respect, It's also a distinct possibility. I don't know, I get it. Like there are actresses and models that live here, right? I mean, come on. Like a guy sees someone like me walking down the street and it's like, why would I waste my time on some 6? I could be getting a 10 to worry I might rape her, It's like you aim for your dreams. I don't do myself any favors. I cut my own hair. I've been in a relationship for the last 4 years, and we went to a wedding over the weekend. But it's people like I knew. They all know that I'm in this relationship. But they still forced me out onto the dance floor with all the other single ladies during the bouquet toss, because apparently we're doing those things by tax filing status now. Okay? Marriage is a very special thing between a man and a woman and their relationship with the IRS. So. No, it's good. We've been together a little while, though, and it's you kind of have to remember when you live together and you're in a relationship that you're not just roommates, And it's weird, you go on, date nights, which is kind of strange. It's well, I could spend an hour getting ready for this date, or I could spend that hour eating spoonfuls of peanut butter directly out of the jar, He's seen me both ways, I think. I think he prefers the latter, So, but we're trying to try and do that stuff. You do these date nights, and we went to the movies. Other week we went bowling. We live in New York. There are a million things to do. We're doing the stock photo version of dating. Getting all our ideas for nights out from Getty image search, basically. Well, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. What's the attractive blonde couple with the good lighting got going on? Pretending to love each other? Well, we can do that. No, things are good. Because we've been together so long, I've never done online dating at all, but I have some friends that are doing it, and it's horrifying. Okay, especially the women, they show me these messages that they get from dudes, and it's just this horrible, gross, misogynistic stuff, and they're just used to it. They're oh yeah, guys are nightmares. I'm no, you can wake up from a nightmare, if you sleep anywhere near some of these guys, I don't think you're waking up ever, You're just done. That's a joke about murder. I have a friend, one of my oldest friends. I just saw him recently, and he's great. I've known him for 15 years. But he not the best at dating. It's he's always seeing someone new, but there's always something a little bit off about it, I saw him, and he was it's cute. He got so excited about this girl he's seeing now. He was oh my gosh, she's great, she's smart, she's funny. Her favorite band's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. She's married. It's way to bury the lead there, guy. Why are you dating a girl with terrible taste in music? I fucking hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know. Okay, so this, I don't know if you guys saw this in the news a couple months ago, but there's this big female record executive, and she wrote this thing about, talking about a story in the 90s when the Red Hot Chili Peppers, being the assholes that they are, got dropped from their label for being assholes. But they could still make people a lot of money, so all these labels were scrambling to have meetings with them and pick them up, and her label told her, you've got to take a meeting with these guys. And she was well, I don't want to, they're assholes. But she had to take the meeting. And then, during it, two of them cornered her in a closet, a very, scary, and, as a woman, that makes you, so angry. But on the other hand, I am so thrilled to finally have a reason to hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It just feels good to be right. You know what I mean? After all this time. That friend of mine, we met about 15 years ago in Hebrew school, of all places. Yeah, all right. I don't know. Sounds like some other anybody. If raise your hand. No, you know what? Don't identify yourselves, Jews. That's never worked out well for us. You don't need to do that. Yeah, I was raised Jewish, but I've never been. I'm not religious. Never really was, never really been all that into it. Thing is, I don't think my parents, they put a lot of effort into raising me that way, but, I don't know if they were ever that into it either. I grew up in a town where there wasn't a synagogue, there weren't really any other Jewish families, and 3 times a week, they'd drive me and my brothers, 40 minutes both ways to go to a Hebrew school in a different town, and I remember asking my mom once, if this is so important to you guys, why don't we just live in that town? And she said to me, your father thinks it's weird that they all stick together like that. And, he was right. It is weird, right? And, I'm so glad I grew up, somewhere else, somewhere, more diverse with, Presbyterians, It's just not even a cool place to be from. If you're from an Italian neighborhood or an Irish neighborhood, that sounds cool and tough, A Jewish neighborhood is what, a cul-de-sac with a high pollen count? It's crazy. Anyway, he's buried in a Jewish cemetery now, so it's like, oh, we really didn't respect his wishes at all, you know? It's kind of like the ultimate Jewish neighborhood, if you think about it. Is it too soon for you guys to hear about my dad dying? Well, I mean, you just found out about it. That makes sense. I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but it's okay. We can talk about it. He was sick for many years, and this is the thing, like, I'm not religious, but like my grandparents, they're very religious. And anytime that my dad would get sick and then get better, they'd be like, oh, you know, it was because people prayed for him. You know, I remember my grandmother saying to me, you know, Alison, all over the country, people were praying for your dad. And that's when I realized my grandparents' idea of God sounds a lot like American Idol, you know? Like God was ready to kick him off the show, but turned out he was a fan favorite, so got to stay. And then got canceled. Okay, all right, bye.